Your reaction?
I mean, he's kind of part of it for 2 years.
Yeah.
But my reaction is that this was as bad of a loss as they've had all year. And this was the 7th time the Jets had the ball. Aaron had the ball at the end with a chance to win the game, and they lost the game. The 7th time. The Broncos game, they miss a field goal. Minnesota, he throws a pick. Buffalo, he throws a pick. New England, he doesn't get him in field goal range. That was the hardest. They had less than 30 seconds. But again, in today's NFL, where you start on the 30, a lot of teams do that, get in field goal range. Indy was terrible, down 1, never got him in field goal range. Seattle, we talked about a couple weeks ago, they get in territory and they turnover on downs. And then Miami, the 2 Hall of Fame caliber guys on the team up for just a total clock mismanagement disaster. You can't go out of bounds there. Like, now, you can argue you can't be throwing there. You can argue a lot of different things. But in Jeff Ulbrich, the interim head coach's defense, he's probably like, well, my 41-year-old Hall of Fame quarterback and my 32-year-old Hall of Fame receiver are going to know we have to keep the clock running. But evidently they didn't. And so that's why they end up losing the game. So, no, it's not. Aaron played really well yesterday. But that's
if he goes down there,
if he goes down there, they're kicking the ball with
they got another,
with 16 seconds.
Yeah.
And then instead of Miami getting the ball at 50, they're getting the ball at 10, and you win the game. So, I mean, even the game where he plays really well, they can't execute the little things. It's just they're the anti-Chiefs in every way imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was one of their worst losses. I agree with you on that mistake, and they admitted it. Devontae can't go out of bounds. But it's a better team that's playing in the playoff hunt and probably would even be in the playoffs if Tua had been there all season. So they played well. They had a chance. But my reaction to his comment, I'm not mad at that. I mean, it's been a rough year. Don't put the previous 13 seasons on me. All right, I've been here for 1 year. I'm fine with that. He didn't rip them. He didn't say, well, yeah, everything that comes here seems to, get ruined. He just said, I've been here 1 year. As far as Rodgers, he played well yesterday. And you want to know, like, going forward, because I've said he should retire after this year.
Look good to me. Got a little something, Coach.
My reaction to this is he looked mad in the interview. He looked mad that someone asked that question. And I'm thinking, well, what are you mad about? You showed up at the first press conference and said, they smoked us in Green Bay, so I wanted to come here and take them to the next level. You said that Super Bowl trophy looks lonely, right? You said that in your first press conference. So what are you mad about? Are you mad that you failed to win more than 3 games this season? You mad about that? You mad about all your friends coming to the team? You mad about firing the head coach? You mad about firing the GM? You mad about disappointing every single Jets fan because the expectations are so high? Like, what, you mad about getting paid a lot of money? Well, what are you mad about? You mad that you got asked a question because you failed? This team has underachieved at a level that's, pretty
the most disappointing team in the NFL this season.
Well, the most disappointing team in the NFL in a lot of seasons, based off of other Hall of Fame type quarterbacks who have come and been able to perform at a much higher level. It's just like, enough with you threw for 300 yards. Congratulations, that's great. Took you 34 games to do it. Stop being mad at everybody for asking legitimate questions about you not achieving to a team that gave you every opportunity to achieve.
Bill Belichick was on McAfee a few weeks ago and said, you know what? Guys can have a bumpy ride and then pop up somewhere else and succeed. He's shown flashes, yes, against the Patriots where he looked healthy. Yesterday he was healthy. Even the other game when he was throwing blocks, he didn't play great, but he looked healthier, looked a little bit more mobile, looked accurate. He finally threw for almost, over 300 yards, 340. To me, if I'm the Jets, I thought this was a decision that was done, and now I'm open to it.
If they, I don't know where you stand on this, Brew. If the New York Jets decide to run this thing back after, what do we think they're going to finish? 4-13, 5-12 if they get hot at the end, with just the same player, Aaron Rodgers, but a year older, then every single fan of that franchise should consider themselves absolved from any fan loyalty and be fan free agents. Then they're hopeless. They're going to have a top 5 pick because they're this bad. He is there.
So why don't you get a quarterback and sit like Jordan Love? Sit behind Aaron Rodgers, just to the counter argument.
Because I think he's terrible.
But
I think
he was good yesterday.
Yeah.
He wasn't terrible yesterday.
But I think even Mac Jones was good 2 weeks ago in relief.
That's a good point.
Even bad
That is a fair
quarterbacks
point.
have, like, as long as you have a baseline talent, which Aaron obviously has, he's one of the most talented players ever, you are going to have moments where you look good. But I am shocked that of all people, you might be buying the snake oil that this guy a year from now, a whole nother offseason of everything that comes with Aaron, a new head coach that has to grovel at his feet.
That would be.
That's what it comes with.
It doesn't have to. And look, I'm with you. I've said Aaron Rodgers should retire, and the Jets should cut him if he doesn't retire. And that's how I feel right now. One game, one great game. Kobe scored 60 his last game. I know he took a ton of shots, but you can do that if you're great every once in a while. You can't do it consistently, and that's where Rodgers is. Now, my one caveat, if over the rest of the season, 4 games left?
4 games left.
He was like great. Considering the fact that he's got the $49 million dead cap hit, if I cut him, if he played great these next 4 games and all of a sudden there's some good vibes in the locker room and stuff, I would start to consider it then if he played great.
I think if you go and get a young quarterback and you kept Aaron Rodgers, now whoever comes in has to look at it objectively. And they've got to sit down and have honest conversations with him and with ownership and whoever the GM is, and get an understanding of where he's at and what this package is going to be. Now, the problem with that is what he says it's going to be versus what it is. Right. It's probably going to be very different. If you could actually get him to be in the building with a young quarterback and not have to eat the salary cap money and maybe be able to get something positive in the mentorship.
That's not who. But that's
but
not. This is the scorpion and the frog thing you're always talking about.
Hold on. I'm not talking about mentorship in the sense of like, I'm saying to be able to see someone who's done it at a high level operate in the building, which Zach Wilson didn't have. There is some value in that, although there is also the like, if that's the person that he learns his other traits from.
But look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love, it benefited him. You saw a huge difference from earlier in his career to
I don't know how much of that was being around Aaron and how much of that was 3 years around Matt LaFleur, who we all think is great.
But it might also be what you don't want to be. You can look at someone doing something and say, I don't want to do those things.
When we just talked Chiefs, you just said you think it's almost disrespectful to them that people want to say it's mysticism or black magic or the refs or whatever, that it's a culture and a greatness of players. If you are a team in the AFC, it is going to be damn near impossible to get a quarterback as talented as the big 4 in the conference. Patrick, Josh, Lamar, and Burrow.
Yes.
At the very least, you need a quarterback who you're fully confident has all those guys. Josh yesterday, when asked about the sneak, I've just got to get in. Mahomes, all last year, I should have thrown it better. Joe this year, offense needs to score more points. Lamar, after a win, I'm pissed we didn't play well enough. We cannot talk about the Jets quarterback, who at this point is nowhere near those guys in talent, and the exact opposite of those guys in intangibles, leadership, and say sign up for another year of it. It would be malfeasance.
But it's better if he retires than if you have to cut him.
He's not retiring, though. He wants that money.
And that's the thing. You got to pay him that money.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.